it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. How are you today? It is in the evening. It is, I don't know, 6:45 or something on Monday, December 1st. So I hope you're all enjoying everybody's Advent calendars. I am. I think they're fun. And so I have been, catching up on some Advent calendars and seeing what everybody's getting. I love the one that Sam from Manthos makes. She got the amigurumi one from Hobie. I was this close to buying that, and I said, I'm not going to, because then I have to cart it with me for several months before I get to open it, and it was only 4 projects. 4 days, because you get one a week. And I thought, if I'm going to do one, I want to do one every day. So I didn't buy it. And I saw her open hers today. And I'm like, oh, I should have bought it. But that's okay. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. And if you're new, thanks for stopping in. I hope you like my content. My channel is mostly about crochet. But my husband and I purchased an RV and sold our home when we retired in January. And we are traveling. And we traveled in the end of winter last year. And then stayed stationary in Ohio, where we're from. We stayed stationary there over the summer. And in mid-October, we started traveling again. So we have been to Washington, D.C., to the Outer Banks, to South Carolina. A couple stops in between, but those are the main stops. Just like overnight or whatever. It was just a few days in D.C., one day actually in D.C., a week in the Outer Banks, a month in South Carolina. We're here now today. We arrived last night in Richmond Hill, Georgia. We're staying at Fort McAllister State Park. It was mid-70s yesterday. Chilly today. I think we're bringing it with us again. We brought the cold weather with us everywhere we went last year. I hope to heck that that's not going to be the case this year. It was overcast all day, but we did see the fort, Fort McAllister, here in the park. It was really kind of cool, and that will be a whole nother video, which I have video of, and pictures and information. I'd never heard of Fort McAllister. I'm not big time into the Civil War, so I've never been a big history buff. I love old architecture, but not a history buff. I like it more now than I ever have. The older I get, the more fascinating I find history is. Maybe because I'm becoming historic. I don't know. But anyway, it's some cool information for a fort that I never heard of before. I found some really cool things. Or I found out some really cool things. So we'll talk about that in another video. Today's video is, as most of my videos are, a crochet video. If you have been around for the last few videos, you know that I started knitting. And I did knit on my project. It is just a scrap. I think it's going to be a cowl. I don't know that it's going to... Maybe a scarf. We'll see. It might end up being big enough to be a scarf. But I am using... I got these... sorry about that. I got these needles. I never talked about them. I got them in a set from Michael's, and they were on clearance. They were $90 regular price, on sale 50% off, and then they were giving an additional whatever off the clearance. And I think I got this set of interchangeables, bamboo. I paid $30 for them. So I really like them. I bought 2 sets that day because I was going to start learning to crochet with Laura. And to knit. I've always wanted to learn to knit. And I'm just a little, my left hand isn't very coordinated. Let's just say that. And it's just the truth. I'm not like putting myself down or anything to that. It's just the truth. I broke it once recently. Well, I actually broke it in 2 places. That's an excuse. uh, I've never been coordinated left-handed. Even when I broke my right wrist when I was a kid and I had to do everything left-handed, I still didn't get coordinated with my left hand. I could never write very well. I mean, I did write with it. I remember I had geometry in school and I had to like make shapes. That poor teacher. She really couldn't grade me on the preciseness because I could barely hold my pencil. And I can't tell you how many times I poked myself in the eye trying to put mascara on. But I still did not get good with my left hand, even though I did that. But I do like these needles, and they weren't clearance, so I'm sure they don't sell them anymore. But that's the needles that I'm using, and I'm using a 6mm. And then when I was at that local yarn store, I bought these. Are they not the cutest? So I bought that from Knit and Purl. And that's where I learned the knitting that I'm doing now, which is just regular knitting. I'm doing this all in the purl stitch. This is the leftover scrap yarn from my Nana June's Christmas blanket that I made in the Nana June pattern. The pattern is a tutorial by Juan the Yarn Addict. And so I started with, I had some, this is I think a Caron 1 pound. And then this is just some green. Literally that I had a project from I don't know when that I ripped out. I think it might have even been a project that was my mother's. And anyway, I took it out. And so I'm using this green now. And then I had the leftover red, which is a big twist, but not the big twist that I had in that bag. It is a different color. And so this is leftover that'll go in. Darn spam. Go in next. And then this is the variegated that I used on the Nana June. This is a little bit of 2 different skeins. So I'm going to throw that in here. And when that's done, that's how long the project is going to be it a scarf or a cowl. We'll see. They say knitting takes less yarn. It takes more time. I have knitted on this 2 separate occasions since I showed you last, which I've probably doubled the green from what I last showed you. And I still have this much more of this green to go. So I'm disappointed that it's such a slow go. That I don't know how anybody gets anything done when they knit. That's how I feel. I mean, I know I'm extremely slower than most, but I have gotten way faster, and I'm like, oh man, and mind you, they're like 32 stitches in the row, so it's not a lot, but like, I feel like, oh gosh, I got several rows done in this hour. I'm really cruising, and it's this much. I'm like, oh good Lord. I really and truly worked hard. We were supposed to get here. We left South Carolina. We drive down 95 South. Now, this is on a travel note, so I'm just going to squirrel here for a minute. When I was making our travel plans to come south, I knew we wanted to stay for like a month in South Carolina near Myrtle Beach. We loved to vacation there, and we wanted to know what would it be like if we decided to live here. The kids are pushing, if we don't buy in Ohio, buy in South Carolina. It's a quick drive. It's a quick flight. Flights usually you can get very inexpensively. And it's not that long of a drive, so they could drive or fly down in no time. And visit more often, and like during the winter, long weekends, whatever, they could, pop down for a long weekend. So we wanted to spend time there and see, is this someplace that we could maybe settle in? So we stayed a month there. So when I'm trip planning, okay, we're going to stay a month. We'll leave on the last day of the month. The thought back in like May when I was doing this planning wasn't that that is the holiday weekend from Thanksgiving, the biggest travel weekend of the year. Of course, in May, that does not cross my mind. There is, I guess, like one main way out of South Carolina into Georgia, and it is that 95. And I believe that takes you all the way into Florida. We were driving slower on the highway than they were driving on the side roads next to the highway. We're like, how do we drive over there? The trip, GPS when we left said it would take us, we were driving 250 miles. So let's just go with that. We were driving 250 miles. We left at 11 o'clock and we got here 250 miles later at like 6:30 or 7 o'clock. Ridiculous. It was crazy. And we're like, why is there all this traffic? This is nuts. South Carolina 95 is 2 lanes on each side. You get into Georgia and it's 3 lanes. So it did go quicker. But still really bad. Just not as bad as South Carolina. Georgia is better. So we are leaving here and it will be midweek. So hopefully it won't be so bad. We are going back to South Carolina for New Year's, and the kids are coming down. We're not driving 95. We're going to take the side roads. Okay, so that's enough of that. Back to the crochet. So I know, I think it said we would get in here at like 4:30, 4 o'clock, 3:30. It said we would get here at 3:30. So I thought, I'm just going, there goes that doggone spam again. I thought, I'm just going to crochet until this ball is gone. Well, I mean knit. I'm just going to knit on this until this ball of green is gone. Well, I've knitted on it twice since that trip and another time, and that's what I got. And I didn't knit anything. I didn't work on any other fiber, anything. Any crochet or knitting that was being done in the car ride. But a lot of the time, it got dark and I couldn't knit anymore. And there were areas that I'm just sightseeing and I'm not knitting, But I thought, I can just buzz through this now. One day. But I'm happy with it. And I enjoy doing it. And that's the whole thing. And, if you don't enjoy doing what you're doing, don't do it. So then that brings me to, I don't know why, but I got inspired to pull out my Juan's Cal, his springtime Cal this year for 2025. I started it. He made it. Beautiful blanket. It's wildflowers or something. And he did it in a 4-weight yarn. And he did, I'm sure he did more than one blanket, but the one for the tutorial he did in a solid color. And it's like heirloom quality. Really, really pretty. Really love it. I wanted to do it. Nancy from She's Got Yarn gave me this big twist Vista, and I think it's called Sunrise. This is my 3rd cake. I had 3 cakes of it. There are, I'm going to just tell you because I haven't shown it in so long. There it is. 705 yards in here, which is 645 meters. So 645 meters, and it's a cotton acrylic, and it is a 1-weight yarn. There's a 1 in there. Yeah, I know, I'm stupid, right? So I knew that my blanket isn't going to be as big as his when the tutorial is done, but I have 3 skeins. I don't know how far that's going to go. I have zero knowledge of how big the blanket's going to turn out on the 3 skeins. But I know I'm going to use all 3 skeins. If I don't get through the blanket, through the tutorial, if I ran out of yarn before we ran out of tutorial, I had purchased some white, and I would just, off-white. lighter than this lightest shade in here, but it would coordinate. So just a solid white, and I would do like the borders or whatever in that. Well, the tutorial got done just about the same time as my second skein was almost gone. I had a little extra. No, I take that back. My second skein was gone. I had to get into just a little bit of the third skein to finish the last of the tutorial. I did not do the last stitch of the border, but I started in the border section. But I didn't do the last, like he had a scallopy edge or something, and I didn't do that because I'm going to continue on. I want to use up all of this skein, all of this last skein. So, I don't know what inspired me, but I just saw the bag sitting there, and I'm like, I'm just going to treble crochet and make that ridge. Front post, back post, whatever it needs to make the ridge on the front. Because I really like the look of the ridge on the front. So I went to do that, and I hadn't pulled this blanket out in a long time. And I didn't realize that my last row of stitches is this row right here, where you have, I think it's a half double, and then a half double, chain 1 or 2, and then half double and chain 1 or 2 in this right here. Well, I'm not going to make a ridge out of that. So I did double crochet in the space, treble crochet around the bump. I mean, around the post. Double crochet in the space, treble crochet in the post. And it was giving me this, like, weave look to it. And I thought, oh, that's really cool. It was like a hump a bump on one side and not on the other. So I did that all the way around. I like it a lot. And then I thought, okay, now it should be like close on the top to being even, because I've got the double, it wasn't half double, it was double crochet and treble crochet. So when you treble crochet around the stitch, you know, around the post of the stitch below, it shortens that stitch, so it makes them about the same height, the double and the treble. Well, it took out kind of took away this part on the next row, but the next row, I just wanted to do the post all the way around the post and make the ridge. So that is what I did, but it kind of took away from the bump of the row before, but that's okay. I don't mind. And so I got my ridge. I got, you know, there's texture there regardless if you can tell that it's kind of was a bump and now it's not a bump, you know, like a shadow box fence. That's what it was like. One back here, one up here, then one, you know, like that. It doesn't look like that anymore because they're all to make the ridge, but there is a lot of detail there. And so I did 2 rounds all the way around there. And if I circle this up, I still probably, and these are bigger, you know, so I can probably go around a couple more times. And I know for sure I'm going to do another treble ridge, or maybe bigger even, so that maybe I'll wrap 3 times instead of 2 times so that it has a bigger space of stitching, and see what that does, and still do the ridge because I love the ridge, but it'll be bigger, take up more yarn, or maybe not, because I love this part of it where he's got this, you know, and I like the looks of that. So maybe I'll just kind of, it'll just be ridges. Now see, it needs to be more like this. What is that? Or they wrap around. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do another row with the no ridge, right? I don't remember how we did this down here. I don't remember what we did down here, but I like that. So maybe I will do, it looks like several stitches of double crochet and then one, like 3 trebles. Maybe I'll do something like that to like bring that part back down into it. Maybe that's what I'll do. But so this is what it's looking like. How big is it? I don't know. I did not measure. But I can do my, you know, we know that I've got almost a 40-inch from my grab to my, it's bigger than 40 inches. I'll tell you that. And I'm loving it. And it's going to be even bigger, and it's nice and lightweight, and it's perfect for what I want. And I'm very, very, very happy with it. And because it's teeny tiny yarn, yeah, it takes a long time. The trebles make it faster, though. You know, I mean, I feel like I get through it faster with the trebles. And I have 2 ends, so that's not good. Okay. So that's that blanket. And like I said, I am loving that one. And that's in my ice yarn bag because we're using not ice yarn. So why wouldn't you put that in the ice yarn bag? I don't have any ice yarns with me. But I do like the bag that they have. So I will put it back in there so it doesn't fall apart all over. So give me just a second on that. And then we're going to talk about the sweater. I know Billie is done. She showed me up big time. Love her to death. Her sweater turned out really cute. And she made the extra large. I am making the extra large. She said she used 2,100 yards of fabric. Or yards of yarn. Well, no wonder I'm like, I'm not going to have enough. Because the pattern said that I should need 1,500 yards. But she said she used 2. I think she said 2,100, right? She used 2 of the big 1 pound size-ish of the Crafter's Secret from Hobby Lobby. She used 2. And she did not do the ribbing around the neck because she ran out of yarn. She was playing yarn chicken there at the end and did not have enough to do the ribbing. But she was okay with it. She likes the neckline the way it looks. And so she's good. And I'm like, I knew I wasn't having enough yarn. So, what did I do? I read all your all's comments. And thank you so much for the comments. And I agree. I have shopped. I did not go to eBay and look for my yarn color. With this sweater, I am using lint in there. I am using Bernat Premium in deep purple. I did go to Yarnspirations. They have clearanced out their Bernat Premium. They do not have the deep purple color. They have Bernat Value yarn, and they do not have this color. The color is not deep purple. They have like a wine. They have lilac. They have another dark purple, but it's not this dark. So I can't get it there. I did go to my secret stash holder, Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too, because she would always have everything I need. And she does not have this yarn in this color. She says, I probably gave that yarn to you. Nope, I bought this myself. I was at Ollie's. I was with her or Lynanne, I think, when I bought it. So I asked Lynanne from Nina's Knots Crochet. She doesn't have it either. Maybe I bought it when I was by myself. I don't know, but I know I bought it. And I know I bought at least 6 of them, and I had 4 plus a little left. So I should have just not used from my 6 for whatever I used it for. But isn't it a beautiful color? I love this color purple. So that still leaves me short of yarn. The next closest that I have found is this. And it's not the same. This is purple from Premier Just Yarn, like from the Dollar Tree. And it is a very close relative, but it does not work. And I don't know if the purple from Big Twist, they had a color that was very similar to at Michael's in Big Twist, and I don't think it is. It's going to be off. So when I was at Michael's looking to see if they had any Bernat value by some slim chance, they did not, and I bought this yarn. This it's a self-striping. It's not really variegated because it goes in long stripes. But I bought this thinking, but I didn't have this with me, and I just not real happy with it. But I brought it back, and I thought I'm gonna see maybe if I do a few rows of it, it'll look okay, and I'll like it. So I grabbed it and I added it in, and I hate it. So it would look like, what is on you? Get off of there. You know, like big section of this, and I'm using this Impeccable in the pale lilac in between. I thought it would like, maybe if I had put the light purple here, but this is what it's gonna like go. Oh shoot. Hold on a second, it fell off the table. So anyway, I just don't like the way these two purples go together. Any of those purples. I just don't like the purple coming off of this with this deep purple. So I'm frogging this. But and I don't mind, and I used, I'm gonna be so sorry that I did this. I used from the inside on one, and I used from the outside on the other one of these. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. It was late. So then I thought, well, I still want to see what the lavender by itself would look like. So I grabbed a row of the lavender, and I started. And honestly, guys, I kind of like it. So I'm going to do some more of the lavender after I pull out this. I'm going to do some more of the lavender. And I'm going to see how much I like it. I think I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to like it okay. What do you think? It's not, after seeing this yarn with it, this looks way, way better. It doesn't look, this was my original thought, was to use this yarn with it. It doesn't, and I thought, it's going to look funny, but it doesn't look as bad as I have made it out to be in my mind. It doesn't look, I don't think it looks bad at all, actually. But I want to work it up a little bit, get a better feel for what it's going to look like if the center section on the front and back are made out of the lavender. If I don't like it, I'll just rip the whole thing back and just do a whole different pattern with a different yarn that I will have enough of, like 2,000 or better yards. I like the pattern. I'm not real thrilled with the sleeves anyway. I'm not real thrilled with how they're made. We had to increase every other row. Now we'll have to decrease every other row. And I get it. It's because they're a fitted sleeve, but it's long on me. Maddie and I aren't much different in height. So a long fitted sleeve is going to look silly, I think. I mean, you can't, I mean, it feels like it's going to be long on me. So I'm not 100% sure how it's going to fit her then. It's not like I have T-Rex arms that are just, right here. So, and if it's a more fitted sleeve, what does that look like if you have to bunch it up? If it's a baggy sleeve, no problem. So, I don't know. Roy and I are going out tomorrow So I might just go to Michael's again and see what I can find in purple. And just get something. See if they have enough of something in purple. And maybe I can even get just more of this. This is called Petunia. She likes dark purple, but and I don't know if they would match, but I'll bring this and see what they have. Because I am nervous about getting the other sleeve to match the first sleeve. Billie said she had trouble getting them to match. I'm like, oh God. If Billie had trouble, she's been crocheting way longer than I am old. Not really, but maybe. I mean, she is 20 years older than me, so. And I've been crocheting for like 6 or 7 years. She's been crocheting for a long time. So I'm not saying anything bad about Miss Billie, but she is older than me. And she has been crocheting for a really long time. So when I saw that she had her sweater done, I'm like, oh, Billie, you're killing me. So I found another sweater pattern couple that I like. Nancy's doing a beautiful one from MJ Off the Hook, but that's not one for my granddaughter for like to wear to school because it's got a whole lacy section in the center and stuff, and that's not what she's looking for. So anyway, I might I made a sweater for my youngest granddaughter a couple of years ago that she totally loved, and it was just double crochet sweater, and she loved it. So I might just do that. I don't the same sweater, but in an adult size instead of a little kid size. We'll see. We'll see what happens. After I go to Michael's again tomorrow. There is a Michael's and I think a Hobby Lobby not far from here. I know there's not, I think. I don't know. But if we don't find one around here, then I know there's some in Florida. I'll find one sooner or later. And if Maddie gets it for Christmas, she gets it for Christmas. And if it comes late, it comes late. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. My heart won't be broken if I have to pull this one out because, like I said, I haven't had a good time doing it. And I've been all worried about it. But I do like the light purple in there, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And now I've been going on and on for a while. Look out for my video of Fort McAllister. It's a unique place. Probably not like any other fort you've ever seen before if you've never been here. So I will tell you about that in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, or another one anyway. Thanks for watching and liking, subscribing, and all of those wonderful things. Sharing would be nice. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.